have adopted gun violence restraining orders, where it gives a parent or even law enforcement the ability to put a court order in place to get a weapon away from somebody, not just who would be a threat to other people, but who might be a suicide risk. You have these in, yes, liberal states, California and Washington state, to name a couple, but is this something, having been in law enforcement for years, that you think is a good idea?
It's a good idea. Reasonable people, we're going to support reasonable regulations to prevent violence. But here's my concern, and Ed, maybe we could hear from you on this. It seems to me that there's so much emphasis on guns, but that's not the end all to these problems. Right. We have a societal problem that has to be addressed. I'm just concerned that everyone's placing emphasis on guns, 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 but what about parenting in the homes? What about our educational system? What about the deluge of violence for generations through the media? So these are things that we have to really talk about as we move forward as a society.
I think that conversation is happening, and I would encourage everyone to listen to Emma Gonzalez, who's a senior at Montgomery Douglas, who spoke yesterday and was on the Sunday show, or Saturday, and was on the Sunday shows as well. She made it very clear that they don't think it's not a mental health problem. They don't think it's not a school safety problem. But there is a specific weapon that these people are using to carry out these attacks. And we were discussing on a number on Friday, the difference is the number of people who are dying from these attacks. And she said, we wouldn't have had 17 dead if he was using a knife. And that's the baseline.
But Ed, there's one thing on the left. I look at this, and I've had many arguments about it in the last several days. We aren't enforcing the laws as they exist now. That we are failing on background checks. We are failing. That law enforcement is failing to use the powers that they already have in their hands to stop these violent acts. And that the left seems to think that gun ownership is a privilege. It's not. It's in the Constitution, and it's in our actual Bill of Rights. It's not like even a driver's license. Having a driver's license is a privilege. But owning a gun is a fundamental right, and they don't believe in taking away that right for everyone, like even a type of weapon. But then again, like the bump stocks, the Republicans never stepped up and did anything about those after the Las Vegas shooting.
I would argue at this point in time is, and I'm not about committees and commissions, but I think at this point in time, a presidential commission in which you bring all elements, law enforcement, local education, and talk about the problem, and is there anything we can do about it? Can we and it's a societal problem. It's not just guns. It's these crazy kids that are being deluded with this crap on television and games and all the rest of it. And how do you we've attacked other problems. I was involved in fire was a very big problem in the 70s. The Bronx was burning. People were being killed. The presidential commission created a National Fire Academy, the equivalent of the FBI Academy for Fire Service. They did architectural change. They put fire safety in. They taught attorneys how to do arson. They've made fire much less of a problem because of this commission. My sense, if you could bring some of the very best experts in the country together and talk about this and have some action items out of it, psychologists, law enforcement, local law enforcement, then I think at least you'd be taking a step forward and make people feel a little better about it.
Real quick. You were in the White House when President Reagan was shot. The gun regulations that came out of that because of James Brady are named after him. What would Reagan say today? Can you tell us?
I think Reagan would obviously be a strong Second Amendment person, and I think to a certain extent the Brady bill had a long, hard battle. It didn't come out of that particular thing at that point in time. What occurred after that was our security had been so lax. I mean, the assassin could get within 10 feet of a president. So, I mean, what they did is you have extraordinary security. The difference between that period of time in Washington, D.C. today or anywhere, we have everything's locked down. You can't get in a building like this without having passes and what have you. And those are the kinds of changes that took place. It wasn't about guns per se, but it was about the security per se, and we've had lots of incidents since then.
And I think that's where a lot of parents stand in terms of our school security at this point. Ed, you covered a lot for us.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Do you want to stay the rest of the, hour and 45 minutes we got
He's
left?
like, no, bye-bye.
I think I'll go home and read my newspapers.
And hang out with your doggies. Give them a scratch for me.
Thank you.
Ed Rollins.